afternoon, my relatives. My name is Tony Gonzales, and I'm of the Kumka'ak peoples of Mexico, Sonora, from California. And I represent the American Indian movement. Some of you may know some of the history of the organization, the movement. It's an intertribal organization. It does not represent tribal government, but we are many nations in this movement. And as the speaker before me mentioned, her working here late in the morning and feeling that good energy. Well, that good energy is movement. That good energy is revolution. And people doing things, the idealism is that energy that propels, that moves people forward. It's the path of truth. And I hope to have time later to talk about that. Indigenous peoples are the most innocent of the creatures and of the victims of this critical situation that we are in. And to remind you that indigenous peoples, we first made our appearance with the international community just at the turn of the last century, when Chief Destage of the Cayuga Nation of North America came to Geneva when it was the League of Nations. 1922, 1923, when he came at that time to Geneva, Switzerland, he spoke about the sacred Mother Earth. He spoke about the sacred and spiritual ways. He spoke about treaties and agreements that were made with the governments, different governments, and the indigenous peoples. All these things that we talk about today, he brought it to the attention back then to the world communities. And he wasn't allowed to speak to the open forum of the League of Nations. And yet, we are here today with the same agenda, the same issues, almost 100 years later. But we are here to contribute. We are here to remind the generations of our relationship to our sacred Mother, the Earth, because our spirituality, indigenous people, is an earth-based spirituality. It wasn't written and put in a book by a man. These are natural ways that are handed down, have been handed down. And from the many experiences that we come from, we find our way here. All the many experiences. The culmination of our past. We are the memory of our ancestors. And we want to continue with this. And I will speak to you more, but it is that shift that the speaker talked about that has to happen. It has to happen in the spiritual form so we can remember. When we hear those birds that the ambassador mentioned, when we hear those birds singing, we have to learn to also rejoice and sing too in the mornings. And we have forgotten that. But we're going to remind ourselves this so we can struggle and be strong when we face the wind, when we face the storm. In our peoples in the north, we say, we see a storm coming, we run into the storm. We run into the storm to get to the other side. And that's what we will do. Thank you, my relations.